Have you ever walked out of a lab thinking, that test didn't feel right, or, I wonder if they got accurate results this time? If you've had that thought, you're definitely not alone. A lot of older adults go through the same thing. You try to follow all the instructions, you show up on time, you sit through the needle, and yet, something in your gut tells you the results just didn't reflect how you truly feel. In this video, we're going to talk about 10 common mistakes that older adults, especially women over 60, often make before getting a blood test. These small slip-ups might seem harmless, but they can quietly change your results. I'll walk you through each mistake and show you exactly how to avoid it, so your next test reflects your real health, not a mix-up caused by coffee, anxiety, or a forgotten detail. Before we start, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Just drop your state or city in the comments below. And if you have any natural health tips of your own, feel free to share those too. Someone else might really benefit from hearing what's worked for you. Point 1. Forgetting to fast. Let's talk about something that catches a lot of people off guard, fasting before a blood test. Many older adults think they're doing it right, but end up either skipping it altogether or fasting way too long, and both of those can cause issues in your results. For some tests, like cholesterol or blood sugar, fasting is important. But fasting doesn't just mean, don't eat breakfast. It means no food or drinks that have calories for at least 8 to 12 hours before your test. That means no toast, no juice, no coffee with cream, even a splash of milk in your tea can quietly throw off your numbers. Your blood sugar might come back higher than it actually is, or your cholesterol might look worse than it really is. And that could lead your doctor to think you're pre-diabetic or have high triglycerides, even if you don't. Now on the flip side, some folks think, if 12 hours is good, maybe 14 or 16 is even better. But fasting too long can also confuse your results. If your body doesn't get food for too long, it starts to stress out a little. That raises your cortisol levels, your stress hormone, which can make your test results look off. It might also change how your sodium, potassium, or kidney function levels show up, even if nothing is actually wrong. For older adults, especially women, this can lead to dizziness, fatigue, or even fainting while waiting for the test. So what's the safe zone? Fast for 8 to 12 hours. If your appointment is at 8 a.m., stop eating by 8 p.m. the night before. And only drink plain water during that time, no lemon, no herbal tea, just water. And if you're not sure whether your test even requires fasting, just call the lab or ask your doctor. One simple question can save you a lot of unnecessary stress later. Point 2. Taking medications or supplements that affect test results. Here's something a lot of people don't think twice about, taking their usual medications or daily supplements before a blood test. It feels normal, right? You've been taking them for years, and your body's used to them. But what many older adults don't realize is that some of these pills, even the natural ones, can quietly interfere with your blood work. Let's start with biotin. It's found in many over-the-counter supplements for hair, skin, and nails. Seems harmless, but biotin can actually throw off your thyroid test results completely. It can make it look like your thyroid is too active or not active enough, even when it's perfectly fine. That kind of mix-up could lead to unnecessary medication or stress you don't need. Then there's ibuprofen and naproxen, common pain relievers many older folks take for arthritis or joint pain. These can affect how your kidneys show up in your test results. Same goes for steroids like prednisone, which can increase your blood sugar and white blood cell count, making it seem like you have an infection or high glucose when you don't. Even antacids can alter calcium or magnesium levels. And let's not forget natural products like fish oil, turmeric, St. John's wort, or herbal teas. Just because they're natural doesn't mean they don't impact your blood. Your body doesn't know the difference between a vitamin and a prescription, it just reacts. So, what should you do? Make a full list of everything you're taking. Prescription meds, over-the-counter pills, vitamins, protein powders, teas, everything. Give this list to your doctor and to the person drawing your blood. They might tell you to pause something for 24 to 72 hours, but never stop a prescription unless your doctor says so. Being open and prepared helps your results tell the full truth, and saves you from a lot of confusion later. Point 3. Not drinking enough water before the test. This one might surprise you, because it's so simple, yet it causes problems for more people than you'd think. Not drinking enough water before a blood test is one of the easiest mistakes to make, especially if you think fasting means no water at all. But here's the truth, unless your doctor tells you otherwise, you should absolutely drink water before your blood test. Here's why. When you're dehydrated, your veins shrink a little. That makes it harder for the nurse or lab technician to find a good vein to draw from. You might end up getting poked more than once, or they may have to use your hand or wrist, which can be more painful, especially if your skin is thin or you bruise easily. I've seen people walk out with sore arms or even bruises just because they skipped that one glass of water. But it's not just about the needle. Dehydration also changes what your blood looks like under the microscope. When there's not enough water in your system, your blood gets more concentrated. That means certain markers, like your red blood cell count, hemoglobin, or even kidney function numbers, can show up higher than they really are. It might also make your sodium or potassium levels appear off, even when your body is fine. So here's what to do. The day before your test, make sure to drink water steadily throughout the day. Don't chug it all at once, just sip regularly. Then, about an hour before your appointment, drink a full glass of plain water. Not coffee, not juice, not flavored water. Just water. This one small habit can make your blood draw smoother, your results more accurate, and your overall experience a whole lot better. It's easy, it's free, and it makes a real difference. Point 4. Exercising too hard the day before your blood test. We all know that staying active is important, especially as we age. A walk around the block, a little yoga, or some light stretching can help with balance, mood, and circulation. But here's something many older adults don't realize: if you exercise too hard the day before your blood test, it can quietly throw off your results. You might think, but I felt fine afterward, and that may be true. But when you do anything intense, like lifting weights, hiking uphill, doing cardio, or even a long gardening session, your muscles start to break down just a little as part of the natural repair process. And when that happens, certain enzymes get released into your bloodstream. These include things like creatine kinase, CK, ALT, and LDH. If your doctor is checking for liver function, muscle damage, or inflammation, those numbers can show up higher than normal, even though nothing is actually wrong. In fact, I've seen cases where women were referred for follow-up tests, ultrasounds, or even heart scans, all because their blood work reflected muscle recovery from a workout, not an illness. Imagine going through all that stress just because of a Zumba class the day before. So, what should you do? Keep it light 24 to 48 hours before your blood test. A short walk is fine. Gentle stretching or chair exercises are okay. But skip anything that gets your heart rate up or leaves you feeling sore the next day. Especially if your test includes markers for liver function, inflammation, or heart health, your body needs to be in its normal resting state for the most accurate results. Give yourself that little window of rest. It's not about avoiding movement, it's about avoiding confusion. One day of taking it easy can save you weeks of worry. Point 5. Arriving anxious, rushed, or flustered. You might not think your mood can affect a blood test, but it absolutely can, especially when you walk into the lab feeling anxious, short on time, or mentally scattered. For many older adults, the process of getting to the appointment, dealing with traffic, parking, paperwork, or even just nerves about needles, can put the body into a mild state of stress. And believe it or not, that stress shows up in your blood. When you're flustered or anxious, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones can temporarily raise your blood sugar, increase your blood pressure, and even affect your white blood cell count. So if your doctor is checking for things like glucose levels, immune activity, or inflammation, the numbers might look off, not because something is wrong, but simply because your body was reacting to the moment. I remember a patient who showed up after nearly missing her appointment. She was out of breath, worried, and apologetic. Her blood test showed signs of high glucose and elevated cortisol, and it raised concerns about diabetes and hormone imbalance. But when she came back a week later, calm and on time, everything looked normal. The first test had captured her stress, not her real health. So how do you avoid this? Give yourself a cushion of time. Try to arrive 10 to 15 minutes early. Find a quiet seat, close your eyes if you want, and take a few slow, deep breaths. Avoid scrolling through news or medical articles on your phone, those can raise your stress too. Just let your body calm down before the blood draw. That few minutes of peace can lead to more accurate results, fewer false alarms, and a much smoother experience overall. Sometimes, your body just needs a moment to settle, and that's okay. Point 6. Not asking which tests need special preparation. A lot of people think a blood test is just a blood test. You fast, they draw your blood, and that's it. But in reality, not all tests follow the same rules. Some require fasting, others don't. Some need to be done early in the morning, while others are affected by supplements or even the time of day. And the mistake many older adults make is assuming the lab or doctor will automatically tell them exactly what to do. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. Let's say your doctor orders a few tests, maybe for cholesterol, thyroid function, and vitamin D. Cholesterol usually requires fasting. Thyroid levels are best measured in the early morning. And vitamin D levels can be altered if you took your supplement that morning. But if no one explains that to you clearly, and you show up after taking your usual pills and eating breakfast, you could end up with results that don't accurately reflect your health. Some hormone tests, like cortisol or ACTH, are highly time-sensitive and should be done between 7 o'clock and 9 a.m. Iron tests are another example. You're not supposed to take iron pills right before them. Even calcium and parathyroid hormone levels can be skewed if you recently took a supplement. Now here's where things go wrong. People assume they'll get printed instructions from the doctor's office. But sometimes, the instructions are missed. Or maybe the lab is busy and forgets to mention something. That's why the best thing you can do is call ahead, either to your doctor's office or the lab, and ask a few simple questions. Do I need to fast for these tests? Should I stop any supplements before I come in? What time should I arrive for best results? It only takes a minute, but it can prevent a lot of confusion, wasted time, and false readings. Your health is too important to guess. One quick call puts you back in control. Point 7. Drinking alcohol the night before your test. Let's be honest, many older adults enjoy a small glass of wine with dinner or a bit of liquor to unwind in the evening. It's a part of routine, comfort, or social time. And in moderation, that's okay. But here's what most people don't realize: even 1 or 2 drinks the night before your blood test can quietly throw off your results. Alcohol, even in small amounts, affects your body in several ways. First, it can raise your triglycerides. Those are the fats in your blood that your doctor checks to assess heart health. If your levels come back high, your doctor might think you need medication or lifestyle changes when in fact, it was just the wine from last night. Alcohol also temporarily increases certain liver enzymes like ALT and AST. That can lead your doctor to believe there's a liver issue or inflammation happening. I've seen cases where people were sent for unnecessary follow-up tests, ultrasounds, or even liver scans, all because of one evening drink before the test. And it doesn't stop there. Alcohol also dehydrates you. That makes your blood more concentrated and harder to draw. It could affect your sodium, glucose, and kidney function levels. On top of that, if you're taking medications for diabetes, blood pressure, or sleep, alcohol can interact with those meds and change how your body responds, especially overnight. So what should you do? If you know you have a blood test the next morning, it's best to skip alcohol entirely for at least 24 hours beforehand. And if your doctor is checking something sensitive, like liver function, cholesterol, or hormones, then giving yourself a 48-hour alcohol-free window is even better. Try replacing that evening drink with herbal tea, sparkling water, or just plain water. It's a small sacrifice for one night, but it gives your body the chance to show its true, steady state, and gives you results your doctor can trust. Point 8. Wearing tight sleeves or difficult clothing. You might not think your outfit matters when you go for a blood test, but it really does. In fact, wearing the wrong kind of sleeves can turn a quick, simple visit into an uncomfortable experience. And for older adults, especially women who tend to dress in layers or warmer clothes, this can become an issue without even realizing it. Here's what happens. Many people show up in long sleeves, tight sweaters, or tops that are hard to roll up. When it's time to draw blood, the phlebotomist needs clear, easy access to your arm, ideally around the elbow area. But if your sleeve is too snug or doesn't roll up high enough, it can act like a second tourniquet, making your veins harder to find. That can lead to more poking, extra time, and sometimes using a less comfortable spot like your hand or wrist. I've seen cases where women had to awkwardly half undress in the lab chair just to get their sleeve up. Others were flustered, embarrassed, or left with multiple needle marks because the phlebotomist had to try different spots. And let's be real, when you're already nervous about the test, the last thing you need is to wrestle with your clothes. So what's the fix? Dress for access and comfort. A short-sleeve shirt is best. If it's chilly or you prefer layers, wear a cardigan or zip-up sweater that you can easily slide off. Avoid tight sleeves, fitted cuffs, or anything you'd struggle to adjust with one hand. This small bit of preparation helps everyone. You'll be in and out quicker, the blood draw will be smoother, and you reduce the chance of bruising or discomfort. Think of it as dressing for success, not just style. One smart outfit choice can make your whole appointment easier. Point 9. Not mentioning menopause or hormone therapy. This is one of those details many older women forget to bring up, but it matters more than you might think. If you've gone through menopause, had a hysterectomy, or are currently using any form of hormone therapy, even an over-the-counter cream, your doctor and the lab need to know. And not just yes or no, they need the details: what type, how often, and when you last took it. Why? Because hormones like estrogen and progesterone directly affect your blood work. They can change cholesterol levels, thyroid numbers, calcium readings, and even liver function markers. For example, estrogen often raises HDL, that's your good cholesterol, and lowers LDL, the bad one. So if your doctor doesn't know you're on hormone therapy, they might think your lifestyle changes are working better than they actually are, or miss something that's being masked by the hormones. I've seen this happen more than once. A woman was using an estrogen patch but didn't mention it. Her blood test came back with unexpected hormone levels. The doctor thought it was her body producing those results naturally and sent her for additional tests. All that stress and confusion, when really, it was just the patch influencing the numbers. This also applies to progesterone creams, hormone pills, or any supplements labeled as natural hormone support. Your body still reacts to them, and your test results will reflect that. So, before your appointment, tell both your doctor and the lab technician. I'm postmenopausal. I use a progesterone cream at night. I took my estrogen pill this morning. It's not oversharing, it's essential for accuracy. A simple heads-up ensures your results make sense and prevents unnecessary follow-ups. You deserve a clear picture of your health, and this one step helps everyone get it right. Point 10. Leaving the lab without double-checking. Once your blood has been drawn, it's natural to feel relieved and ready to go home. The hard part's over, right? But here's a small step that most people skip, and it can cause big problems later. Before you leave the lab, take just 1 minute to double-check that everything was done properly. Why? Because mistakes happen, even in the best labs. Sometimes, not all the tests your doctor ordered are actually collected. Maybe they were short a vial, or one test was missed entirely. You won't know until days later when your doctor calls and says, "We didn't get the full panel, we need you to come back." That means another trip, another needle, and more waiting. Another common issue? Not enough blood collected for a certain test. Some tests require a full vial to be processed correctly. If it's underfilled, the machine might reject it and your result comes back as incomplete or unreadable. And then there's the rare, but serious, mistake of mislabeled vials. If your sample doesn't have your correct name and birth date, it could get mixed up. That's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. So here's what to do. Before you leave, ask the technician 3 simple questions. 1. Did we collect everything the doctor ordered? 2. Was enough blood taken for each test? 3. Can I quickly check the labels to make sure my name and date of birth are correct? Also, ask when and how you'll receive your results. Will they call you? Should you check an online portal? Do you need a follow-up appointment? Taking just 1 minute to check can save you hours of stress, confusion, and repeat visits. It's your body, your health, and your information. Don't be afraid to speak up. A little awareness at the end of your visit helps make sure everything was done right the first time. So there you have it, 10 simple but powerful steps that can completely change how your next blood test goes. None of these tips require special tools, medical training, or a big lifestyle overhaul. All it takes is a little preparation and awareness. And the reward? Results that actually reflect your body as it really is, not one thrown off by a missed detail, a supplement, or a stressful morning. If you found even one helpful tip in today's video, go ahead and hit that like button. It lets me know this kind of honest, practical health talk matters to you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time, because we've got more real conversations coming your way, all focused on helping you feel informed, strong, and in control of your health. Take care of yourself. You deserve care that sees the whole picture. And that starts with helping your blood test tell the truth. I'll see you in the next one.